Welcome to a new reading vlog. We're carrying over some books from last week. These two, which I did not finish last week because I decided to read all of 11/22/63 instead. So just to remind you, this is the Best Horror of the Year Volume 12, which is last year's edition. Have just a few stories left. The middle of this, I had a lot of bad luck. There were not a lot of stories in the middle that I was really enjoying. So I'm hoping the last chunk here is really strong, because the start was strong, the middle sucked. Let's see if the ending is strong. I read a bit more of Missing from the Village, which is a true crime book about Bruce McArthur, who was the Toronto serial killer recently caught, and he was killing queer men. It's a tough read. It makes me very angry, but it is an important read. And I have been very fascinated with this case since it's such a recent caught serial killer and it's quite horrific. So yeah, that's this one. And then my fantasy read for the week, even though I said I wasn't going to start any new series, I started a new series. And this is Keeper of the Lost Cities. This is a middle grade fantasy, and it's about a young girl, Sophie, who discovers that she is actually an elf, and there's a whole secret world filled with elves and creatures that's hidden from humans, and they live in lost cities like Atlantis, which are real but are hidden from humans. So it's very easy to read, obviously. It's middle grade, it's very cute, and I'm obsessed with this elf world, and I want to live there so bad because freaking dinosaurs still exist in that world, you guys. They're like fun pets. So that's what we're going to attempt this week. Will I pull it off? Who knows? Will I not finish these two and get distracted and read this whole thing? Possibly. But we'll see what happens. Finished it. I feel like I've been reading this for like a month because I've just been reading a few stories a week, but it is finally finished. And overall, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 because when I was reflecting back on each story, most of them are a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5. So that's pretty great. Absolute favorites are Senior Girls Bayonet Drill Team by Joe R. Lansdale, The Night Nurse by Sarah Langin, Playscape by Deanna Peterfrund, Mr. and Mrs. Kett by Sam Hicks, Below by Simon Bestwick, My Name is Ellie by Sam Rebelane, Slipper by Catriona Ward, and then the last one in here is kind of like a novella. And that was called The Butcher's Table by Nathan Ballengrid. That one was wild. It was like just super creepy. The aesthetic was like insane. I can't even begin to explain it. But anyway, enjoyed my time with these stories, and maybe I will get to this year's collection this year, or perhaps I will get to this year's collection next year, which is usually what happens. Now, tonight I need to get a bunch of stuff done. I gotta finish laundry. I got to clean the apartment. I have to clean out our shelves in our fridge. All very boring stuff. But first, I need to create a new D&D character. Not because mine died. Arwen is alive and well. But we are doing a one-shot that Dave is running, and we need to have, I think, 4th level characters for that. So I wanted to walk you guys quickly through a D&D creation because I thought it'd be kind of fun. So I always like to play Cleric because that's my favorite class. And I've always wanted to play a Goblin. So I'm going to be playing a Goblin Cleric this round. And her name is Jackie because her real name in Goblin is very hard to pronounce for people who can't speak Goblin because it kind of sounds like a blender being turned on. So she picked the most human name she could think of, which is Jackie. So that's who she's gonna be. I'm already obsessed with her. She's cute, she's tiny, she's green, she's got long black hair. She wears like so many layers. She's just like, she's adorable. Okay, so when creating your D&D character, you have all of these stats that you have to roll to get the numbers for, and all the stats determine how your character basically does anything. I'm not going to explain how Dungeons and Dragons works because that would be too long. So we're just going to create a character really quick. That's it. I'm sorry. So for a cleric, the most important stats are wisdom, constitution, and strength. So whatever I roll the highest numbers, I'll be putting towards those three, and then the rest of the numbers I will put wherever I feel like it. And we'll do that maybe based on how I kind of see Jackie acting and her personality. So let's roll some dice. All right, so I have 13, 19, 11, 11, 10, and 14. So not great, but I never ever roll well when I'm doing stats, so whatever. I'm gonna put 19 at wisdom. I'm gonna put 14 constitution, 13 strength, and then dex I'll put 11, and then I think I'll put 11 for intelligent, 10 for charisma because she's a goblin, and like in D&D world, goblins are not they're sort of evil and like kind of, you know, not the most welcomed creatures, but my goblin will be a very kind and sweet one, but she's not going to have high charisma because most people are pretty prejudiced against goblins. So that's where my logic is at. Right, so now we're going to create the character in D&D Beyond, which is just the best place to create a D&D character. It's freaking amazing. We are going with standard. Okay, so we're going to put in Jackie. Okay, we have Jackie. She is ready to go. And since this is a one-shot, we don't actually have to do too much because it's not like I'm going to be playing her for a long time. It's literally going to be for like 1 or 2 games. All right, so now we're going to choose my race, which is Goblin. And here it just tells you kind of all the stuff that comes with your race. So my dex score will increase by 2, which is good because my dex is only 11. And my constitution will increase by 1, which will now be 15. So that's great. So now we're going to choose my class, which is Cleric, my favorite. All right, proficiencies, I'm going to go with Medicine because I'm a Cleric. And I'm going to go with Insight and Divine. You choose Life. Okay, so now we get to enter the ability scores, which is what I rolled for before we started this. Okay, so my strength is 13, dex is 11, constitution 14, intelligence 11, wisdom 19, and charisma is 10. All right, languages. Let's see. I'm going to say she can speak Halfling and Undercommon. So I've added in all my extra stuff. So now we're going to view my character sheet. And here we have little Jackie, female goblin. You can see they've added on all the extra stuff that I need here. So now I have +4 to wisdom, which is amazing. +2 to constitution. I've got my languages here. Look at all those zeros. Oh my god. I need to add in my backstory, but I have put in my description. So chaotic neutral alignment. She is a follower of the Raven Queen. Female, hair black, skin green, eyes black, size small. She's only 4 feet. And she's 45 years old. Anyway, there we go. I am all ready to go and play the one-shot with my friends once I have added in my backstory, and I'm super excited for it. Reading update. I am almost done this book. I have like maybe 60, 70 pages left, and it is so intense. I was not expecting it. Full spoilers, so I don't know, jump ahead a few seconds if you don't want to hear. But this is about a young girl, Sophie, who realizes that she is an elf and there's a whole world out there that she didn't know about. And what we're discovering is that she is a very, very special elf because she's almost like a secret weapon that someone created and she didn't know, and no one really knows. But basically there's this like group called the Black Swan, and they created her specifically for a reason, but no one really knows what that big reason is for. But she keeps having all these like memories and knowing this information that she shouldn't, and it's all of this like buried knowledge in her brain. Every elf has a speciality, and like Sophie's is telepathy, but she's obviously like the best telepath they've ever seen because she was created to be one. And basically there's these like fires that are really scary called Everblaze, and they're just like super dangerous and you can't put them out. And the human world right now is currently being like burned by these Everblaze fires. And Sophie really wants to put a stop to them, but like all the people in her life think that the Black Swan caused these fires, and they're luring Sophie to who knows. Who knows? My favorite characters so far are definitely Sophie, because she's very stubborn, and I like that about her. And I really like her best friend, Des. He is very much a young boy. Emotions, the drama, the tantrums, but I really think he's sweet. And I hope that him and Sophie remain best friends because they're so cute. They're so cute. I just finished it. Yay. It was so cute at the end. Not a cliffhanger, which is good. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because I'm totally picking up the second book right away. I am not ready to leave this adorable elf world. And it was just a really sweet ending. You know, like Sophie got adopted and she survived, and everyone is like happy and safe, and she gets to go back to school for a second year. But there's lots of open-ended stuff that I think is going to make the next book very exciting. So I'm going to get that right now. All right, it's time to wrap up this week's reading vlog. I finished 2 out of the 3 books I planned to read, which is not bad. Discovered a brand new fantasy series that I'm obsessed with, and I need to read all of them right now. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.